Hey, it's Thursday, and I know you're probably tired of seeing my big head invading Thursdays with Uncle Roy, but we also have Adrenaline the podcast tonight at 8 Eastern, so I'm going to be all over the place. Right now, I'm at the home of North Carolina Drag Racing Hall of Famer and International Drag Racing Hall of Famer, the legend himself, the Hillbilly, Uncle Roy Hill. What's happening, my man?
I've had to put up with him for 5 weeks down here. And I've loved every minute of it. He's got a lot going. We'll touch on that here in a few minutes, but we've got an awful lot going on too with the school. Don't forget, October 9th and 10th, we have a school, and there's a few spots open in junior dragster and in the big cars and the big dragsters. But I want to touch on something. We have new Mike Boss cars here ready to go. 2 different size engines. We have cars we've took in on trade and put new engines, gone through them from one end to the other. Might be 2 Mike Boss cars that they traded and got new ones. It's so easy to rework those cars. People take good care of them. We've got a couple 3 half scale cars, and they mainly have 890 engines and the startup 406s, I think it is, and for a beginner. And we've got good prices on them. Anybody that's looking to get a car for their son, daughter, grandpas, grandmas, we got it for you. And when you buy a car, you get a free school. Or if you are in here going through our school and decide to buy one, you get another free school. And so right now, the big thing we've got going on is this weekend, we're at Charlotte, Concord, Z-Max Dragway. You can see our Cobra Jets sitting here. We're not going to be racing there. We're going to be there displaying with Wright trailers, which I'm real proud of what has happened here. I talked to Michael Scott a couple of weeks ago and told him I was going to be working with Kenny with the junior dragster program at Rockingham. And I said, everything we've been doing has been together. And I said, I'd like to go ahead and tag you to be on the flyers. Well, not only that, he took care of printing 300,000 more tickets.
Yes, sir.
And
a mess.
Just unbelievable. So when you get your tickets, hit the barcode. Let us know if you like everything. And free tickets. Kenny, you want to talk about that?
Well, the barcode he's mentioning is actually a QR code, but same thing. You scan that with your phone, it'll take you to the Wright Trailers website. As you can see here, and on all the tickets, whether it was Fatheads Eyewear, Elite Roofing, Wright Trailers, nationwide, by the way, you can go right here and scan this QR code, and it says scan for your chance to win $100 cash. To allude on, or to expound on that, essentially all you got to do, go there, give their Facebook page a visit, get them in your search history, because if you need trailer parts, just go to wrighttrailers.com. You can see, it would take us all day, take the whole show up to cover everything that they do. But one thing I can tell you is we're proud to have them part of the ADRL. They are giving out tickets this weekend in Charlotte. You'll be able to get your free tickets to ADRL Dragstock 2023, presented by Fatheads Eyewear. Next weekend, September 29th and 30th at The Rock, the legendary Rockingham Dragway. So if you need additional information, you can always go to ADRLtour.com. The schedule's posted not only on our Roy Hills Drag Racing School page, but also on the ADRL Facebook page. So Uncle Roy said they're free. Pay $20 to park, and you were an integral part of the first free ticket event right here in Rockingham back in 2006.
I think you and Jess, your lovely wife, and myself was sitting at Oscar's in High Point,
5:30
we had
every morning.
breakfast every morning, and I don't know who started it, but it come up. We had a board of directors meeting, and it was free tickets at Rockingham, and it just went overboard. So Kenny, since several years ago, has always done free tickets, and I'm excited. AJ Collins is taking one of our Cobra Jets, and going to run the foot brake class down there to have some fun, get some more practice. But the big thing is, come to the Rock. There's new owners, they've renovated the place, and they're really nice people. And look for us being in Rockingham with some of our schools in the future. We're working with some real good people down there in Richmond County, Moore County, trying to put some things together to bring the Roy Hill Drag Race School back to Rockingham.
It's going to be exciting. And you mentioned Richmond County. There's the outpouring of support, and we've said it many, many times. Megan Lambeth, the executive director over there, you'd think she had 40 people working for her as much as she gets done during the day, but it's just her. She's the executive director of the Tourism and Visitors Bureau there in Rockingham, and she's been so helpful in getting all this put together and getting so many tickets out into the community. So if you're anywhere in Richmond County, you can go to our Facebook page and you can find these babies anywhere. And we couldn't do it without Fatheads, Right Trailers, Elite Roofing,
VP,
Advanced Concrete Finishing. I was thinking I didn't want to forget VP. VP Racing Fuels will actually be on site to sell you all the fuel that you need. If you want to pre-order some fuel, just go to the ADRL's Facebook page, send us a message, or you can call Rockingham Dragway. But VP Racing Fuels, as you probably saw in last week's episode, has been with Uncle Roy almost as long as I've been alive. And speaking of which, we were talking about the juniors before. For the first time in my life, I heard Uncle Roy say a tire name that wasn't Goodyear. Now, what I had to just quickly remember is Goodyear bought Cooper and Mickey Thompson. So Goodyear owns Mickey Thompson tires now. So when I saw some Mickey Thompson tires on the junior dragsters, I was like, hang on a minute. Because in these parts, that's sacrilegious back in the day. Uncle Roy's been with Goodyear longer than he's been with VP Racing Fuels. So it was kind of shocking, I got to say, to walk in there. Then I had to refresh my memory, and Goodyear had acquired Mickey Thompson and are continuing the legacy of everything Mickey had done to build that brand. But Goodyear tires, Mickey Thompson tires, Wright Trailers, Roy Hill's Drag Racing School. The junior dragster division specifically has gotten so much buzz in this area. I didn't realize with everything that you and Michael Scott and his wife and his wonderful family are doing for junior dragster racing in the Southeast, Division II within the NHRA, and now, of course, at Dragstock 2023 at Rockingham. We've got, right now, I'm going to guess somewhere north of 24 cars in both the Pro Junior class, which is a 790 index class, and the Top Junior class, which is the bracket racing. Both of them are presented by Roy Hill's Junior Drag Racing School in conjunction with Wright Trailers. So can't thank you guys enough. And I don't know, man, what are you doing next weekend?
I'm going to be there, but this weekend,
I was just going to say I'll give you a free ticket if not, you know.
I want to say something. This is going to be unveiled at ZMAX Dragway.
Big news.
We have a young lady going in our first junior street car. It's a red Mustang. Her name will be on the window, and her mom's Melissa. She's our Melissa, and
her daughter's Alyssa, and I keep getting them confused.
I do too.
We got Melissa the mama and then Alyssa the daughter, and I've called them both the wrong thing several times. So Alyssa will be driving the Junior Street Roy Hill's Drag Racing School Ford Mustang. So
she spent a day up here with me, getting tuned up. I watched her get her license at Carolina Dragway. The Division II director rode with her in a smart car, and they were going to do a run and introduce the junior program at ZMAX. That smart car is not what she needed to be running, so she's got one of our new 2024 Mustangs, twin turbo. It made 24 laps at Piedmont Dragway Tuesday. Every lap was between 9 flat and 912, 78 to 80 mile an hour. So we're going to wish her a lot of luck. I don't know the young boy's name that's going to run her, but let me tell you what, she comes.
He's going to see the back of a red Mustang, is all I can tell him.
That's it. She has drove junior dragsters a long time. Her dad raced, her brothers raced, and she's racing. And let me tell you, her mom is one of the best promoters of the junior dragsters.
She really is.
And so I don't see how this can't work. And she is my first student, and we're going to do an exhibition run over there on Sunday. Depending on the amount of time they have, how many runs they'll make, but we're pulling for Melissa.
Melissa, mom, Alyssa, daughter, and future superstar drag racer, to be able to cut your teeth in the Roy Hills Junior Drag Racing School. Now you're moving up to Junior Street, an exciting new program that the NHRA's got going. You can go to NHRA.com to learn more about that. And getting to do it with this guy as a teacher, he taught my son KJ from the time he was 5 years old, and we won 2 races, 2 national ADRL national events together, 9 #1 qualifiers, and I hate to talk about it again, but runner up at Indy by 0.004 of a second. So there's nobody better to learn from. If you want to find out more information on going through the school, I actually did way back in Ennis, Texas. We're talking 2002. Uncle Roy was going through some things back here at home. He couldn't be at the school, so Mac and Brian and everybody that was working for him at the time, they came out to Ennis, because this man's never broken his word, ever. Believe that. He said, hey, I gave you my word I'd have the rig out there for you to get your Pro Stock license. His Pro Modified team was running in the NHRA AMS Pro Mod Challenge back then. He couldn't be there, so on Monday morning, he calls me, and I went through the class, and I did everything, and I really wanted Uncle Roy to be there, and I would come back to another school later, but I wanted him to be there, and he calls me and says, Kenny, it's your Uncle Roy. I said, yes, sir. Did you go to the class? Yes, sir. Did you pay attention? Yes, sir. All right, you think you're ready to drop the clutch? I said, yes, sir. He said, your Uncle Roy's sorry he can't be there. I want you to forget everything them some bitches told you and just hear me now. Be safe and don't tear up your Uncle Roy's shit. I love you, I gotta go. So now you talk about pressure. I'm already driving my first Pro Stock car. I'm dropping the Ram clutch, heating the Goodyear tires. The VP Racing Fuels is flowing through the engine. And I'm over here shaking like a poodle pissing peach pits. Say that again to yourself. A poodle pissing peach pits. Lots of shaking going on. I dropped the clutch, and the great Brett Kepner, who joined you a few years ago in the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame, long overdue. Brett Kepner was there taking photos on that Monday, and I asked him, I didn't see him, he's hiding over here, and I said, Brett, I said, where in the hell were you? You weren't, he's like, what do you mean I wasn't there? He's like, just because I didn't come down there and pat you on the ass in the back like everybody else, I was there. He goes, hang on a second. He sends me a picture. When my left leg came off that Ram clutch, it came up so high you could see my knee above the winder. So, and I did say winder because that's how you talk in North Carolina. It's not a window. We don't even know what windows are here. That's a winder. Anyhow, earned my Pro Stock license, was thrilled. Never did anything with it. The experience, though, has lasted me a lifetime, and coming back and going through the Super Gas and then the Top Sportsman School taught me everything I needed to know about being a driver. Alan Reinhardt said it famously, though. My daddy was a hell of a driver, and when KJ won his first round at the Baby Gators back 3-4 years ago, hell, 5 years ago now. How's that even possible? KJ beat Gary Summers, a legend, multi-time track champion, division champion. He goes out there, 4 Mississippis, I think he got on us, because KJ was dialed in the low 9s, and he was dialed like a 13-something. KJ welded the tree together like he always did, drove it down through there and won it, and Alan Reinhardt says, well, look at that. Evidently, the driving genes skipped a generation in the Nowling family, because he knew my dad, and he saw me run Comp Eliminator. But if only I had gone to him sooner like KJ, maybe I'd have a couple of those men sitting on my shelf. But fortunately for me, I got on the right side of this thing and started promoting instead of driving.
You see me sitting here smiling. There's never been a dad and an Uncle Roy any more prouder of a young boy when KJ won his first junior dragster race. Man. And so just thinking about everything KJ's done puts a smile on my face. And he has been working with the Dallas Cowboys in recruiting.
Cowboysfilmroom.com. If you go to YouTube, cowboysfilmroom.com, he's just getting it fired back up on that end. because he is now a full-time coach at Liberty High School in his hometown where he graduated from, right about 5 minutes from where we live. So yeah, he's taken, and you know how much of you I see in him when he's coaching these boys? And that's been his ambition. He loves drag racing. He's got a passion for it. Football in my home has always been a big thing. It's been a big part of my life. It was a big part of KJ and Joey's life growing up. Maverick Roy, who will be starting his first football game next Sunday. He was supposed to play last Sunday and got sick. Bless his heart, as they say here in the Carolinas. Bless his heart. Anyway, so Maverick Roy, and then Daxton Don will be right behind him. So it's what we do, and KJ, the success that he's having coaching on the football field and bringing Liberty and with Coach McMillan and his family and everybody that's involved in that program. I'm just so proud that he's able to be at home, coach his alma mater, and watching him with these young men, as I was alluding to. It's like this guy 2.0. Few less curse words, but at least when his mama's around. But I can tell you right now, he never cussed in front of his mom either. Miss Marguerite would have smacked him right across the rear end, I promise you. But anyway, he's got a little bit of Uncle Roy in him, and it makes me proud because I know that the success that he had on the track and the success he's now having coaching football all came from the lessons he learned from this man. I won't take an ounce of the credit because I watch KJ coach and I watch the way that he leads these young people. And I'm just telling you, parents, you can call it a sales pitch, call it whatever you want. The proof's in the pudding right in there with the trophies and the Hall of Fame accolades and the NHRA Lifetime Achievement. There's absolutely nobody in this country, nobody on this planet, that if I was bringing, and Maverick Roy and Daxton will be going to the school, Maverick will be going this spring coming up, and Daxton will be going the following spring. There's nobody. They can offer me $50,000. Whether it's free or if it doesn't matter, you get what you paid for. Go to the RoyHillsDragRacingSchool.com. Champions are literally made right here in these four walls in Sophia. Now, these four walls are very broad. This shop goes on for about a half a mile, but I can just tell you that there's nobody you should send your kids to, because this stuff can hurt you, and it will if you're not educated properly. And I know he'd probably never admit it, but one of the reasons he gets so wound up is because he cares more about the safety. And that was the thing that impressed me most when I went to my school. All kidding aside, that was the thing that impressed me most when KJ and Joey were both tutored under Uncle Roy. And Joey, heck, in his first event, he didn't get to do it as long because he was so focused on football, but he went to Houston, and on the last qualifier, he wasn't in, and that's when you qualified, and you still do in Top Junior on reaction time. Joey goes 000 and takes the #1 spot from not even being in the field because he sat over with his Uncle Roy, focused on his breathing. Hell, he even taught Maverick. Maverick was trying to ride a bike for 2 months and falling and scraping and everything. You're doing it wrong, son. Listen to your Uncle Roy. I want you to take Cracker Jack, one of the beautiful Rottweilers, his son, and Joy's Frisbee. I want you to take it out there in my driveway, which is about 1/4 mile long, set it in the middle. He said, now don't you keep looking down at your feet or what's in front of you. He said, you look out there. And there were several people to witness it, so don't take my word. But Maverick got on that bike, and he had been falling off all day. He was about ready to quit, and Uncle Roy sat him in that rocking chair. Maverick rode that bike down to that Frisbee, and he never quit riding. It was dark before he came in, and he's been riding ever since, and he hasn't fallen off, but a few times when he's trying to do things that he shouldn't be doing on a bicycle. But RoyHillsDragRacingSchool.com for all the classes. Our next one, the 9th and 10th, Piedmont Dragway. If you're watching this and you've thought about coming down here and I've heard from this person, come see it for yourself. If your kid's struggling in a junior dragster right now, bring him here. He will right the ship. If they want to learn, they'll leave here with the ability to go home and win. And the list of winners that have come out of the Roy Hills Junior Drag Racing School and the Roy Hill Drag Racing School for adults is a mile long. I'm not on it, unfortunately. So, you know.
You heard Kenny say I was pretty tough. I got the name of being a drill sergeant.
Yes.
Maybe a little more. And you know, the first 30 years of doing my school, he touched on safety. Another thing, I always thought if a man paid good money, I had to get him his license.
Absolutely.
So I would go to extreme measures to make that happen. I would drill it into them. And I guess 10, 15 years ago, I realized something. Good friend of mine, Jim Turner, on Piedmont Dragway. He was a principal up here at Allen J School. And we were talking, and I'd started working with the juniors, and I just mellowed out. And he explained something to me. A good teacher, a good coach, never has to raise their voice. And so that has helped me so much with the junior program, and it's rubbing off on the big boys and big girls. Now, you've heard people say it's hard to train a dog laying on the front porch that's laid there for 30 years. It's hard to get him to listen now. When I say get up and come on down off the porch, he just looks at me. But we're now having a whole lot more fun and got a lot of future coming with this junior street program. At 14, you can come in and get started. And I'm so proud of what's getting ready to happen at ZMAX Dragway this weekend. Come by the Junior Dragster display and see our junior street cars.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And Wright Trailers is on display. NHRA this weekend. ZMAX Dragway, Concord, North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte. Had a great time over at Max Speed Shop last night with Michael Scott and his beautiful family, and everybody at Wright Trailers had a couple of cars on display. When you come down to drag stock, if you've always wanted to ride, so you're getting in free. You pay 20 bucks to park, 5 of you in the car. It's $4 a piece. You're getting in free, and you can come out and do something that you can't do anywhere else. You can buy a ride in Uncle Roy's 3-seater and actually go down the same 8th mile that Bubba Stanton, Frankie Taylor, Jason Scruggs, Travis Harvey, Ricky Smith, I could go on and on, are going to be going down. So tremendous opportunity this weekend. Want to thank everybody so much for supporting the Roy Hills Drag Racing School. I'm just thrilled to be a part of it. I mean, 60 years in, I've been reading about this guy since I was old enough to be able to ride my bike to the Magic Market and get the old Super Stock magazines and the Hot Rod magazines. And my favorite ad was the Goodyear ad with
Goodyear motor wheels.
Goodyear motor wheels.
And
it was
the Hillbilly and the Spider.
Hillbilly and the Spider. There you go. You had the straw hat on.
Miss Muffet.
Miss Muffet. He had the, just Google the Hillbilly and the Spider and Goodyear. Any combination of that ad will come up. You think he's good looking now. You should have seen him back then. Got a piece of straw in his mouth, but he's been doing it a long time. Nobody's been doing it better, and I promise you there is not a better instructor in any sport than Uncle Roy. So visit Roy Hills Junior Drag Racing School, Piedmont Dragway. We've got all classes open. You can go to our website. That'll link you to our social media, RoyHillsDragRacingSchool.com. Our Facebook page. Kim, who's behind the camera and who produces these great videos and basically is the foundation of this place. She keeps it going. Kim Leahy, she's, I don't want to, again, if I embarrass her, she's going to throw that phone at me, but I can just tell you that she is a big part of why the Roy Hills Drag Racing School has continued to thrive and grow. She'll be who you talk to when you call in. Just go to RoyHillsDragRacingSchool.com, sign up for that next class. It's only a couple of weeks away. Sign up now, get down here, Piedmont Dragway, Roy Hills Junior Drag Racing School, Wright Trailers, Goodyear, VP Racing Fuels, Lucas, ZMAX, Moroso, all of them, as Robert Ty would say. So thanks for having me again, buddy. 2 weeks in a row, I could get used to this.
We've stretched it out a little longer than we planned on, but when he goes to talking, it's hard to stop him. So be sure, come by Wright Trailers display. I'll be there signing and doing autograph sessions and talking to people. We'll be at Drag Stock in Rockingham next week, and AJ will be running one of the Cobra jets, and I'm very proud of him and Brittany. Brittany's got to go to a wedding or she'd be there, but come by and see us. I'm looking for you.